So, welcome to the benefits of Reiki. This is a Reiki information session. This is Donna Denome, Reiki Master, Shamanic Healer, Spiritual Sherpa, and Master Success Coach. And I want to welcome you to this Reiki information session. Reiki is such a beautiful practice, and it also is everything, all the energy that is everywhere. Reiki literally means universal life force energy. And so as you look at the picture on the screen, you'll just notice the beautiful dance of light and color. This is happening all around us, whether you're aware of it or not. And the practice of Reiki brings you in and through that beautiful, mystical world. It's available to all of us. And again, I welcome you here. If you're not familiar with my background, you're welcome to check that out on my website, and I'll give you that address a little bit later. You know, I'm just going to go back to that slide because what I really want to say is that, like many others, I stumbled upon Reiki. I happened to see a flyer on a board, and it was advertising this class. And I didn't know why, but I felt a tug. I felt an urge to check into it, to pursue it. And I found myself in a Reiki class with many other people. And what was interesting to me is that at the time I was dealing with a physical imbalance that was quite intense and had been going on for a number of years. I had severe endometriosis. And what I found was that when I was in this class, I kind of made an agreement with myself. I call it a pact. And I made this pact that said, you know, I've taken this class, I've spent my time and my energy and my finances to be in this group, and I'm going to do Reiki every single day. And I did that for a little over a year. And what I found was that Reiki addressed my physical imbalance on so many levels, not just the physical. So Reiki is not symptom healing. Reiki gets to the root and heals at that deepest root. And for me, I had a number of things that had happened in my childhood that led to me developing this physical imbalance. And not only did Reiki heal the endometriosis, but it got in and through those emotional pieces and opened them up, brought them to the surface. And again, I want to say, surrounded those things with loving energy, which helped that to heal as well. So Reiki is deep working and long lasting. And that's why I've been doing Reiki for almost 35 years, and I've been teaching for 30. It's precious, precious to me. I'm going to cover 7 benefits tonight. And honestly, the Reiki benefits are infinite. There are so many. I could go on and on for hours. I want to cover 7 key benefits that we see repeated over and over in sharing about Reiki. And the first one is, you don't have to buy any special tools or equipment because you carry your hands with you always, right? And even if your hands are not available, Reiki will be coming through your entire physical form. It already is to a certain degree. In the Reiki program, we open up that energy so that it comes through you even more. And your whole body becomes a Reiki conduit. As in this beautiful picture, you see all the lights of the chakras and the energy in this form. Your body becomes that Reiki conduit. And so even if you rest an elbow on someone or lay your forearm across a person's shoulders, you'll be sharing Reiki. You carry your hands with you, so no special tools or equipment are needed. And I think that's the number one benefit. It's simple, it's easy, yet it's profound in its application. And people from all different walks of life have been drawn to Reiki and have studied with me. I've trained literally thousands of students and hundreds of Reiki masters who teach, who have gone on to teach. And so the Reiki spreads like that beautiful pebble in the pond. And also, from all of these different people, we've seen different applications of Reiki. It may be just used in a family situation. Other times it's used in professional settings, even if someone isn't becoming a practitioner of Reiki, but simply in the work area, there may be applications. And if you have questions about this, you can ask me when we're done with our slides tonight. Benefit number 2, I've already mentioned. Reiki affects all levels. The surface level of what's going on, the symptoms, and the application to the physical level. It also gets in on the mental level, the emotional level, the spiritual level, the psychic level, the energetics of the body. It addresses everything. It reaches in and comforts your inner child, and it encourages your great goddess to bloom into even more of who you are. Reiki, benefit number 2. Reiki works on all levels. We all have pain in some form or shape. Again, some people have physical forms from something really simple, like a headache or a sore throat, to a major imbalance that takes the form of disease. Whatever your pain is, Reiki can address it. The single most important focus of Reiki isn't to relieve pain, but to do the healing work. And in some cases, that may not mean taking the pain away. An example of that is I had a friend whose husband fell on the ski slopes up in the mountains. And when he was lying there being examined by the medic on site, they were very concerned because his injury indicated something that might be very serious and have long-reaching results. Now, my friend's husband was not in any pain when I drove up into the mountains and joined her for the two of us working on him and working on this physical imbalance. While we were working on it, he went from having no pain to having some pain and experiencing pain. And of course, pain is a way of communication by the body. So it's not always a negative thing. It doesn't feel good, but there may be a reason why you need to feel that. When he went to the specialist the next day, he was able to describe where the pain was and what it felt like. And that gave that specialist more information about how to explore and then treat that injury. So even though it didn't feel good, the pain was still moving toward the healing. And we want to think about with Reiki that the Reiki will always move us toward the healing faster and in a more efficient way. And many times it helps alleviate pain. In some cases, it has completely resolved it. This was indicated by a student of mine who had severe back pain for over 20 years when he experienced the Reiki attunements. And in Reiki 1, our first class, you receive 4 Reiki attunements. And in one of his attunements, he experienced a shift in his back, and the pain that he had felt for over 20 years was miraculously gone. You might be drawn to experience a Reiki treatment for yourself so that you can see what that feels like to you. Clients perceive Reiki in different ways, and there isn't one specific thing that you're supposed to feel. I always ask clients, what are you feeling? And let them share their point of view. There's a lot of learning that can come from that. As well, I listen to the body because the body speaks to me where I'm supposed to go, how I'm to move, how I can help best address the client on the table. One of the best ways to experience Reiki is to take a beginning level course. And then when you have that energy working through you, moving through you, through your hands, you're able to work not only on yourself, but you're able to share that energy with those around you. And one of the best ways to get a Reiki treatment is to give one. I love that principle of Reiki. Reiki can be like a shining light in the dark night, helping to lead you through the forest as you unravel what is behind not only physical imbalances, but mental or emotional imbalances, as I explained with my own personal experience, and I've witnessed with hundreds of clients over the years. Reiki benefit number 3, it gets to the root of the imbalance for deep and lasting change. Remember when I spoke about my experience with the endometriosis and it getting at those deeper roots? If I hadn't done that, often what happens is the imbalance reoccurs either in that same expression or in a different way. Many of us have observed this with friends or maybe even ourselves who seem to date the same person over and over and over again, or get sick in the same way over and over and over again. For example, I had a Reiki student who came into Reiki 1 class, and she had had migraines for many, many years, decades. Not only did her work with the Reiki and her experience with the Reiki take care of her headaches, but it got to the emotional pieces that fed into that physical imbalance. This is important with things like anxiety, depression, sadness, fear, confusion, hesitancy, or holding oneself back. Reiki works on you from the inside out. And this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's quite famous. And what we know about the Reiki is it works on all levels of this hierarchy of needs. You know, the physical being on the bottom is a very important piece to have in place. But I find that the other levels can be just as painful for someone if there's an area of difficulty there. Benefit number 4, Reiki can be combined with other modalities. This is especially important when I work with people who are going through cancer treatment or, stress. Someone may be seeing a counselor or a coach and also doing Reiki to address some of these imbalances. As somebody who comes from a background of traditional and depth psychology, I have attracted many, many clients who have struggled with and healed through difficult emotional and mental imbalances. And I find that Reiki is really so precious and useful in working with people because it literally wraps this loving energy around you. And so when people do difficult mental or emotional work, the Reiki comes in and soothes them. And this can be a wonderful self-soothing technique as well. It's that light coming through the trees and giving you the strength and the courage to step out and reach up in toward all your greatness. Reiki heals from the inside out. And that's actually our next benefit, which is celebrating that inner healer. When we practice Reiki, we don't give our power away. The universal life force is natural and it already is a part of you. When we build on this, when we enhance our understanding of it, when we connect with it in a more direct way, and when we utilize it for enhancing our life and helping others, we celebrate not only that universal force, but that inner healer inside each of us. It's so empowering. The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. And why this is included here is because Reiki just brings us to that place of self acceptance, awareness of self, and yet again, allowing us to envision even more, to dream of what's ahead, to embrace that greater yet to be. And benefit number 6, Reiki is infinitely expansive. So there's always something new to learn or new to experience. And I love this about Reiki. Even though I have been doing Reiki on other people since 1987, I will still be in a Reiki treatment and something will come up and it's new. It's not what I've ever experienced before. And, I have to giggle about it because I will never know it all when it comes to Reiki. I will never have seen it all because it's infinite life force energy. And by its definition, it is creative and it is expansive. And what I love about that is even if I haven't experienced whatever imbalance you might be dealing with, or whatever imbalance a loved one of yours might be going through, it doesn't matter. I am confident that Reiki can enhance the healing of whatever is going on. I've seen so many different things, and yet I also know whatever else is out there, it can still be addressed by Reiki because it's infinitely expansive. It never runs out of ideas or applications. Observation is very key when one does Reiki. So in the Reiki 1 program, we go over the history of Reiki, where it came from, how to use it, a lot about what it is and its various forms, and of course, the applications of those forms. Your observation of what occurs when you use Reiki is a significant part of that Reiki learning. Because as you experience different things, when you complete the Reiki 1 program, you're able to work on yourself, you're able to work on family and friends. And it will be through those experiences that you'll build your understanding of Reiki, that you'll weave together the concepts that I introduce and come to the real deep understanding, and I think love of Reiki. And Reiki helps us heal the world. There's so many things going on in our world right now. And I don't know about you, but I feel like they're really beyond me. One person, me, cannot do a lot to affect the world. But one thing I can do is send Reiki, is offer Reiki, is give myself Reiki. All of those things radiate light onto our planet. Benefit number 7, it's easy to learn, it's simple to use, and yet it brings remarkably profound results. The Reiki 1 course is over a 2-day period, and it is about 7 hours total. Sometimes we go a little longer if people have more questions, but really that's a good amount of time. I am still offering the Reiki one in person, and I also am offering Reiki one classes online. Reiki brings forward significant change and will enrich and enhance all the goodness in your life. And as I said, when we do something for ourselves, we also have that ripple out as a contribution to the whole. This is a little deeper concept. I actually didn't remember that I left this slide in here. What I'm talking about here is that we often see that the world events kind of spill over into our personal lives, and our personal events also affect the macrocosm of what's happening outside. And so as we change ourselves, as we heal ourselves, we are also helping to heal the imbalance of the planet. And we have so much to work on right now. Reiki, I like to say, enables us to never feel helpless or hopeless, but to know that our very breath, our very presence affects others. So I've been sharing just 7 of the many infinite benefits of Reiki with you. Benefit number 1, you carry your hands with you and you don't need any special tools or equipment. There's nothing you have to buy. Your body is that Reiki conduit. Benefit number 2, Reiki affects us on all levels. Even those we don't know have something that's out of balance or in a space of illness or disease. It gets to the root, which is benefit number 3, for deep and lasting change. And benefit number 4, it can easily be combined with other modalities, both traditional and alternative. And Reiki adds to every modality that you include it with. Benefit number 5, it heals from the inside out. And in Reiki, we learn to recognize and celebrate that inner healer within us. Benefit number 6, Reiki is infinitely expansive, and there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to experience. So you'll never get bored with Reiki because it'll bring ever expanding blessings into your life. And benefit number 7, it's easy to learn, simple to use, yet brings remarkably profound results. This is Donna Denome. It's been my pleasure to share a little bit about Reiki with you, and I would love the opportunity to meet with you and learn a little bit about you and explore how Reiki could enhance your life. Until we meet again, many blessings.